Hi, my name is Bella, and I'm here with my brother Chris. The date is December 17th, 2023, and we are recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, first question. Who was your first love, and how do you remember them?
Well, let's say my first love was not a person, but an activity. Um, it would be baseball to begin with. It was just a sport I was really fascinated with, and the fact that the whole family had played or had some type of involvement in it really pushed me on to continue playing the sport as a child and through my teen years. Um, just always like going to the baseball games, always feeling that energy, um, especially at the Kaminsky Park for people who do remember it. The energy back during the early 2000s was immaculate and carried me forward into playing baseball into my youth and try to recreate the things that the Major League Baseball players did.
Okay. Um, what is the best thing that has happened to you, and what's the worst thing?
I would say the best thing that has happened to me is getting into my dream job, being a police officer for the city of Chicago. Um, definitely a game changer, something as I try to pursue at such a young age as well. I already knew what I wanted to do, and I went to go strive for it. And being lucky to get put on the job at such a young age was a extreme blessing. Um,
The worst.
the worst thing that has ever happened, and again, stems from the job, is you try to help. You can only help so many people, and you can only do so much. And let's just say one of my darkest days was not only impacted me, but also the person's family as well.
Who is someone you look up to that is not a family member? How do you know them, and where did you meet them?
Someone who I look up to not as a family member. Um. There's one person I worked with back in Midnight on the job was a guy named Kenny Herrera. Uh, he he's very knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable?
There we go. Knowledgeable. Sorry. And he taught me the ins and out of the job and also ins and out of life, what to do, what not to do. He was just a good role model for us and a lot of the younger guys on the job.
If this was our last conversation, what would you say to me? And how does my presence make you feel?
Your presence. I'm starting off with that last question. Your presence doesn't really bother me whatsoever. As such as you're giving me this giving me this interview, and I'm still answering your questions like we're having a conversation. But if this was our last conversation, I would say that do your best in life. Remember, it's your story, not nobody else's. Don't try to change yourself for somebody else. Everything in life is meant to go a certain way. You just gotta follow the motion of the ocean and deal with it.
Amen. Next question is, what is the most important thing to you?
The most important thing to me right now is
Money.
it would not be money. The most important thing to me right now is happiness.
Oh, I love that. I like that. How is your well-being? Are you okay physically and mentally?
My well-being, physically and mentally. Well, I work in a stressful job. Yeah, with if I'm inside of the office or out on the streets, it's a mental roller coaster. Physically, I'm good. Could be doing a little better if I went to the gym more often.
How is how is your relationship with God? What would you do? What would you do to better your relationship with God?
Well, I think my relationship with God is great right now. You gotta put faith in Him, and He'll give you what's the word? If you trust Him,
He'll give you strength.
He'll give you strength. But you just gotta trust the process of the things that He wants you to do, and the things He planned out for you to do.
Right. What is the best advice you could give me? And when did you hear? And when you heard that advice, how did it make you feel?
What's the best advice I could give you right now?
Like right now in this moment.
What do I tell you all the time? Life is like a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And life is like ocean. Things are constantly moving. If you try to fight against it, you will struggle. However, if you let things go the way they're supposed to be and let the motion take its course, then you will be just fine.
And how did it make you feel when you first heard that?
Yeah, it made sense.
Made sense?
It made sense because you're not going to sit here and struggle trying to fight something that's only going to push you so much feedback, push you back. So,
what do you plan on doing with retirement? Do you plan on staying here or moving away? Just what do you plan on doing when you retire?
Oh, when I retire, I'll leave in Chicago, that's for sure. You could probably go back to Florida, find a nice little place to stay.
Do you ever think about going back to Puerto Rico?
For vacation. That's for sure.
What's it like getting older? Remember, you can never go back and be a kid again.
Getting older is not necessarily a bad thing. Getting older means you're getting more experience in life. You have enough experience to pass on pass off knowledge to the younger generation. As far as never going back, it's, life only goes forward. You can never really go back to things the way things were, as much as it was being a kid again. It was not, for as much as it was being fun as a kid. Mm-hmm. I think I probably had the most fun becoming an adult and learning how life really is and being naive and only focusing on yourself. As a child, you're like, I want this, I want that. It's all about you. However, as you grow as an adult, you get to see the bigger picture of the world. You start to understand things in a different way.
I like that.